If you're a fan of Tekken esports in any capacity, then I don't need to explain to you who Ni is. Known as literally the god of Tekken, he's been a champion since Tekken 5 DR. I believe his first Tekken was Tekken Tag 1, so the game like 2 Tekkens before, but it's safe to say that he is a legend of the game. At age 38, I think he has 115 first place trophies. Really let that sink in. That's a lot of Tekken only trophies. I digress. The point is, if he picks your character, it's worth studying up. He might not have the best combos. He might not have... Actually, he really generally does not have the best combos. He usually has really suboptimal punishes, but the way he chooses moves, the way he navigates the opponent's character, the way his defense, his keep out, and his offense all come together is often beautifully very simple. And I want to demonstrate that with his matchup as Noctis against Pinya's Raven. Now, if you saw my last analysis, you'll know that I played Pinya at CEO 2023 in the top 8 on the winner's side. That's my claim to fame. That's all I got. You got to let me have it. I want to watch how Ni tackles this matchup because if you saw that analysis, you'll know that it didn't go so well for me. You can jump to the analysis through the timestamp below, but I'm going to go through just a little bit, quick run through of what Master Raven versus Noctis is like. So Master Raven, as you know, is a very, very tricky character, okay? The general strategy is you have to hit her. Okay, she's like an anti-solid character. If you just move around, she can close the gap with her snake dash that will go under your jab and auto parry your lows. If you try to mash jab into her or high keep out, she has that counter hit while standing 2, safe 13 frame launcher out of the snake dash or out of crouch. Finally, the reason why it's so effective to hit her is because her tools for interrupting offense are generally weak. Her down forward 1 is kind of stubby. It has like, it sticks out for a long time and it doesn't really like, it's slower. I think it's like 14 frames. So aside from that, she doesn't really have much. Her down 4 is decent, but it's not a generic down 4. It's a bit slower. She has her new 114, the jab G-clef like string that comes out. I think it came in season 4. That's her one thing, but it's unsafe, right? So it's not a reliable tool for interrupting constantly. So the general consistent strategy against Master Raven is hitting her. For Noctis, we have the guy with full screen safe mids. Really well equipped to hit her, especially out of her stance. He also has unparryable lows. But what I want to highlight about what Ni does is he establishes that forward 1+2. Safe, homing, mid, wall splatting, counter hit launching weapon. So absolutely an insane tool, very underused and undervalued, I think, by a lot of players. Noctis players kind of tend to spam it looking for the counter hit, but understanding how it manipulates your opponent's behavior is crucial, I think, to good usage of the move, and Ni demonstrates that here. Finally, when they answer the forward 1+2, that means they have to either play fast pokes or close the gap and then poke, right? And to beat that, Noctis has up forward 1, the imitation Steve back 1. And then finally, once you have full control over them, you can kind of poke them to win. Ni demonstrates it almost perfectly. Let's go into the match. So he's playing quick match online, Japan to Korea. I think the connection's still pretty good. He loves playing down back 1+2 because it's -5, so Noctis can still play the game. He can still move around. He can mash if he really wants to. There's a lot he can do. And then he plays 2-2. Those moves, down back 1+2, and 2-2 track in opposite directions. Now, here we go. Immediately, forward 1+2 out of these forward dashes. When Ni's forward dashing at you, by the way, it's not just for show. You'd be surprised how many times I've seen my friends and how many times I've been counter hit by Ni just running forward, okay? Anyways, he's playing these forward dashes, clearly threatening forward 1+2, and there he shows it. Pinya starts poking back with down 3 and a down forward 1. And some back turn elbows. Ni messes up and gets a spear, but doesn't get launched for it, so it's okay. Horrible life deficit, but look, he's still playing the forward 1+2. A little bit of back 2, making space, and this is why the move is so nasty. Do you see the range here? At this range, Pinya has to be afraid of getting counter hit, and if he disrespects it, the consequences are catastrophic. Let's keep going. Pinya plays some forward dashes, but then he finally gets counter hit, right? Ni choosing to, instead of playing as many forward dashes, just does it right out of the duck, right? He's ducking. Pinya hits his block, or Pinya, what does Pinya do here? Pinya doesn't hit his block. Right, forward 1+2. Pinya goes back turn, he ducks, and then immediately does it. Pinya challenging with his own snake dash mix-up and gets counter hit. Combo to the wall. And now he's playing the full crouch mix-up. If Maven decides to snake dash in, none of these will get low parried. And it's one of Noctis's only lows that give him frame advantage, so it's really worth doing. Especially at the wall. Back 2 whiffs, no punish. 114 counter hits. That's Maven's one good interrupt tool. So that's the one thing to really keep an eye out for if you're going to press offense against her. And what Pinya did here, one more rewind. Pinya did a jab, whiff, but it's so hard to recognize a jab whiffing consistently unless you're a really, really, really good player, right? And this is the first match, so who would expect this? He whiffs the jab and then just rips it anyways. And Knee gets counter hit trying to act on the jab whiff. Down back 2-1. Surprised that Knee didn't low parry that string, to be honest. But again, maybe he's at the level. I know for sure at my level, I'm surprised often when people do these strings that are low parryable. So definitely element of surprise type thing, but it didn't kill. The down back 2 elbow did kill though. Pinya taking the first round. Knee backdashing. This is a Noctis specific move that is really, really nice against this. The generic down forward 2 Noctis has, or it's not generic at all, it has a sword. Noctis is down forward 2 can punish this kick. If Maven does the extension and stops here, Noctis can punish that with down forward 2 as well. And as you can see, if she teleports, Noctis can down forward 2. And Knee didn't do it, but he can pick it up with 2-2 forward 2 here and get a little mini combo. Down back 1-1+2. Putting out the mid pokes. And now that Pinya got counter hit by the forward 1+2, right? At this range, Knee can start playing low pokes. Because if Pinya isn't respecting the forward 1+2, he's going to get counter hit. So he has to just block or snake dash block. And here are the low hits. Nice block in the down 3. And now he's, yeah, you could see it again right there. Down back 1, down 3. And then at this range, he's checking for Pinya to whether Pinya is respecting the forward 1+2 or not. And he is. So now he can play the low pokes again. Knee is very attentive of his opponent's habits and what the actions they're choosing. And he blocks the first hell sweep. That is devastating. Getting your first hell sweep blocked feels horrible. Down back 1+2 to kill. This is a really good down back 1+2. And the reason is, at this wall position, the only way you can step down back 1 is sidestep right. So Maven has to go into the wall. You can't sidestep into the wall. So this is basically a homing mid that he chooses. Homing weapon mid -5. Really, really solid choice. Up forward 1 misses and the hell sweep hits. Now this is a nice adjustment by Knee because if you're threatening the forward 1+2, it's a slower move, like 16 to 18 frames depending how much you dash, right? So if Master Raven wants to beat it, Master Raven has to close the space and then attack. Closing the space costs time. So the up forward 1 is a fast way to do it. However, because of Master Raven's snake dash, she has ways to low profile it. So even though I think Noctis Master Raven is very Noctis favored, Master Raven has some cool tricks that work for her, like low profiling under the up forward 1 and the jabs, and also being able to step 2-2 after getting hit by 2-2. Not every character can do that, and that's kind of a really big asset because this 2-2 hits. If Knee decided to 2-2 again, Master Raven could walk it left. But as you can see, Knee is aware of that. One more rewind. The 2-2 hits, and he does down forward 1, catching Pinya's sidestep left right here. Right? This hits. Pinya does a little step left, and the down forward 1 tracks it. So Knee is paying attention. And you'll notice a lot of what Knee does too is forward dash into nothing, right? Noctis's mids put him at frame disadvantage, so it's not worth attacking every time. You want to change your attack timings and show that you're not very obvious about when you're going to attack. That way you get more counter hits, that way you get more whiffs, and that way the random back 2s are more likely to hit. But if you attack every time there's a window of opportunity, you usually get very little out of it. Another cool thing to note is Knee's down 2 usage here. Master Raven Pinya has been snake dashing a lot, right? Also, this sidewalk right would beat the down back 1+2. So down 2, and it would also beat most of his pokes, down forward 1, up forward 1, etc. So using down 2 here tracks that direction. It's one of Noctis's few tools to track sidestep right reliably. So Knee is paying attention not only to the, did you see what happened right there? Knee's paying attention to the movements of his opponent and kind of mixing up what tracking option he's choosing. So Knee does down back 1, and then Master Raven sidesteps right and dodges the next down back 1. But because he doesn't finish the string, it's hard to find a whiff punish there. And you'll notice all of this poking has done so much damage, and that is incredible awareness he just showed. This move by Master Raven, it's a mix-up. She can go into a low and then launch with the rage drive. Or she can go into a wall bounce mid, okay? There's no wall behind him, so if he ducks, it's not the end of the world. Pinya cancels into the back turn, doesn't actually do the move. Knee ducks, stands up, and then aware that Master Raven has that power low out of the back turn stance, ducks again. And this is when you have to hold because the second hit's a high. Amazing launch. That was a really good read. And rewinding real quick, we'll go straight to the round, but look at how much damage he got just from pokes here. Down back 3. Down forward 1. Back 2. Down 2. The timing changes are so crucial for making Noctis's kit work, because if you just attack, it's easy to just stand block, get your frame advantage, and then fight back. Very, very nice play from Knee. Okay. So turning it around with the forward 1+2 threat, up forward 1 representation, and then just poking the Master Raven, who is afraid of getting counter hit. Forward 1+2 again. Down 3. Back 2. Spacing out at this forward 1+2 range again. Not many characters can fight him at this range. So it makes sense to just stand here, threaten counter hit, and then poke if they decide to hesitate. There's a down forward 1. That was tip range down forward 1. Forward dashes again. Up forward 1. Sidestep 2. And there, the up forward 1 continues to get low profile by that snake dash. So I'm surprised that Knee is still doing it. But on the other hand, if Pinya isn't launching it, is it that big of a deal? Look at how many he's gotten away with. I think there's like been 10. All right, and then he's showing the down 3 again. Remember, these forward 1+2s force Master Raven to block. It's homing. It's mid. It's like range 4. You have to block it. And because Master Raven has to block, he can find these lows. And the back 2s. Amazing block punish. And now he's playing that tip range again, and all he has to find is a 2-2, right? So he whiffs the single 2. Doesn't complete it. Makes it harder to whiff punish. Doesn't bite against here. This is a really scary moment that Master Raven can capitalize on, right? So here, if Knee decided to respond to the run-in with a jab, she goes under, right? And gets this counter hit. But Knee decides to keep backdashing. Very, very impressive composure. On top of that, if he decided to like 1-2 or up forward 1 at a bad time, it would have been a launch into a rage into maybe loss. So great patience by Knee, sidesteps out of the wall and then just plays more 2-2. And one of them is going to hit eventually. The time is running out. Pinya has to get in. Incredible. And it's so simple. I like to play a very movement heavy Noctis. I want to bait them in with my movement. I want to kind of like move with a lot of APM and make it hard to track me down. Knee keeps it so simple. He holds this space at like range 2. Forward 1+2 is always a threat. If you respect that threat, he pokes you. If you don't respect that threat, well, he counter hit launches you. And look at this right here, right in action. Right away, Pinya dashes in, trying to get some offense started, right? Because he's close enough and he doesn't have to contend with that range. Knee just plays immediate 2-2. What's funny is that I tried that in my match, and Pinya was so confident that I was going to swing, he just hit down forward 3 and counter hit launched me. So Knee established control early, and that gave him this window to play like this now. Immediate down forward 4 to track this sidestep left. This is how you track that direction as Noctis. He has a bunch of other moves. This is a really reliable one. And then off of that hit, he just plays a down 3 right away. Back 2 is blocked, but look at the lead he already has. Single jab off the snake dash. Good attempt by Pinya to sidestep this to the right. This is what you're supposed to do against Noctis' small Tekken, aside from 2-2 and down 2. The back 2 gets totally sidestepped, but Pinya is late on the launch punish. So Knee gets damage of his own. Down 3 again. Down 3 again. What a jab. What a jab by Knee here. He eats the down 3 and then he just jabs. Completely shutting down Pinya's offense, not letting anything get started. And then again, showing the forward 1+2 here. Just in case he was getting a little too comfortable. Back 2 clips him, and that down 1 usage was beautiful. Down 1, not a common mid from Noctis, but Knee is using it here for multi-purpose, right? First of all, it would track that sidestep right. The second hit of down 1 would track that sidestep right. But also, you see that Pinya does a back sway, which is like a, evasion into attack. You could extrapolate this to somebody doing kind of like a preemptive whiff punish setup. Like some people will just do backdash down forward 2 without waiting to see if you whiffed. They just do it in case you whiff. This is great use of the move because if Noctis whiffs the first dagger, the second one is coming to cover it, and that's exactly what happens here. Plays a while standing 4, nothing happens, and then he does it just one more time. I need to copy that usage of the move. I think that's really cool. Pinya dashes in again, so Knee starts playing the counter hits one more time. Expecting Pinya to respect it, he just plays the down 3s. Forward 1+2. Look at this. Look at how much damage he's gotten off just down back 3. Hell Sweep goes under the up forward 1 again, but if it's not a launch, it's not that big a deal. There's the forward 1+2. Great way to check the snake dash. Unfortunately, it traded, so he doesn't get a combo. Running 1+2, frame advantage, down forward 1. Back 2 blocked. And now Pinya is playing, like, look at how Pinya's attacking, right? He can't go for an immediate mix-up because he has to respect the forward 1+2. So he goes in, ends up blocking, and even though he gets, like, little pokes here, Ni is able to equalize so much damage with one back 2. Playing this tip range again, and wow, clips him with the Noctis 1+2. Not a commonly seen move, but you'll see that the advantage is that this move is homing, right? So when he decides to do it, Pinya is dashing in, Pinya blocks, and then does a sidestep right. And this homing move clips. And what impressed me is Ni committed. This is a move you usually cancel to make safe. It's -14 otherwise. But Ni just rips it, gets the wall splat, and kills. Super, super sick. All right, Pinya. Now, I think the counterplay by Pinya here is really good. So the only way Maven can really contest Noctis' long-range swords is that down back 2, the advancing elbow. Noctis can't parry it, and because it comes in so fast, unless he's like really on his timing, he's not going to counter hit it. And because Pinya has constantly gone under the up forward 1, it kind of de-incentivizes the use of it, right? So here the down back 2 isn't really that bad. And then he plays the backward elbow again. There's an extension here, so Ni respects it. Then this high. But Ni didn't launch it. He ducked, he flash ducked, and then realizing it whiffed, plays this jab. Unfortunately, Maven players have seen this situation over and over, so this is like a parry setup. Luckily, it doesn't do that much damage, so it's really not that big of a deal. Forward 1+2 shown again. And then the hell sweep hits, and this is a huge life lead. Ni just sticking to his pokes. Big mid pokes with a lot of coverage. Getting around the snake dash. Yeah, clipping the snake dash is huge. Nice mash by Pinya here. Pinya just mashes as soon as Ni approaches. And then it just takes one poke to kill. So Pinya finding nice windows between the forward 1+2 threat. That's crucial if you're fighting against Noctis. Back 2 finds its mark. Down forward 4, and then down 3 again. 3 pokes and like 40% taken. Forward 1+2, we're at 50%. Back 2 hits again. By throwing the counter hits over and over, he's forcing Pinya to block when they're holding this range and he forward dashes, right? And because of that, he's able to just poke for what seems like for free. Your answer would be to counter hit Noctis' small Tekken, but as we talked about, Master Raven doesn't have a lot of tools for that. Nice. Look at this. Responding to the snake dash with the mid. And now he's up 2-0. Totally dominant. Very, very cool stuff. Again, if you're going to watch Ni, you're watching for the move selection, the spacings, and just the defensive choices as well. And I'm very excited to imitate this given my last performance against Master Raven. And here we go again. Shadow Scissors, range 2, backdash, backdash, backdash. Right here. Look at the range. He just chooses to do it. Again, suboptimal combo, but that's not what we're watching for. We're watching for the neutral interaction. For 1+2, doesn't get super punished, so that's kind of nice. Plays Shadow Scissors again. And look at this. When Raven's in back turn, Ni doesn't really engage, right? He tried to do a little fuzzy duck, but stood up, and then he just kind of backdashes or chills out until Raven leaves stance. Raven doesn't really want to stay in stance, okay? They have some gimmicks. They have like the slide, but they don't want to hang out there with their back exposed to you, especially with Noctis' range. Noctis plays more forward dashes. Look at this constant forward 1+2 threat. Can you feel it? Like, look at Noctis' character model. Each of those dashes could be a counter hit launch attempt. That's why Pinya's freezing. But this is a good answer, and this is crucial anti-Noctis, okay? Here, down back 1, Noctis doesn't have frames. Even though there's an extension threat, the threat doesn't kill you. So it's honestly okay to, like, I don't want to say ignore, but kind of disrespect. And here Pinya disrespects it with instant while standing 2, right as Ni is trying to do a demo man. This was a really good choice by Pinya. Noctis, again, throwing out a lot of high coverage mids, but they don't grant advantage. So if you pick the right window, you can get a huge reward. And luckily for Master Raven, when you get that one window, Raven gets insane combo damage, right? Like, I'm going to rewind one more time to show how much he got off that while standing 2. He had to use 3 jabs to try and get the wall. That was his goal. But without... Actually, he did get the wall. Wow. 3 jabs to get the wall. If he got the wall combo, it would have killed. Unfortunately, it was a wall-to-wall situation. But you can imagine how Raven could have killed off this combo, and we'll see that later, too. But Knee coming back with a nice rage drive at range 2. Which is interesting because my rage drives come at like really far range. Knee closes the gap a bit so that it's ambiguous if he's going to poke, if he's going to move, is he going to forward dash? He plays the rage drive. And here, I don't know how he hit Raven. Raven fuzzy ducked and then maybe tapped sidestep right. Runs up and then chills. 1 back 2 is all it took. And Knee laughs knowing how crazy that move is. Okay. This low poke is so risky too. If Knee decided to forward 1+2, he was dead right here. But no, Knee backdashed, and Pinya gets away without dying. Nice move choice. This is really cool. This is like almost Noctis specialist information. He does a down forward 2 that goes under the high extension. Hits the wall cleanly. Oh, he doesn't. He tried an extra hit. Hell sweep hits this time. Knee has only blocked 1. But that may do its job. And this is a common Raven flowchart you guys can all pay attention to. Down 4, -2 on hit. So you'd think, oh, I have time to press. Forward, 1+2. No. It's a 13 frame mid that's coming out here. So even if you do like a down forward, the only way you can really check it is like a down forward 1, right? But even if you do, depending on the side the Raven player's on, they can sidestep it, right? It'll depend on your character and how your down forward 1 gets sidestepped. But that down 4 is not a free attack window, even though Raven is -2. This is what I mean by still being able to play the game. -2, you don't get to necessarily mash, but you can sidestep, you can backdash, you can choose to mash like a quick move. And in this case, Pinya chooses like a medium fast move that happens to beat the forward 1+2. And you would think like, oh, you know, it's actually not that big of a risk at all. Like, it's a very low risk mash. The only way Pinya loses here is if Noctis does up forward 1. And why would you do up forward 1 if Pinya's in crouch? If Master Raven's in crouch, you have to deal with the hell sweep mix. So that's why Knee goes for the mid, the homing mid, and he gets outsped. And look at the combo damage that's about to come in. I know it rewinded a bunch, but I thought that was a situation really worth covering because you will see it a lot against Raven players. And in Tekken 8, you will see it a lot. This is the combo damage I'm talking about. Could have killed him last time, but the one opportunity Raven gets is always very deadly. And now Noctis has to come back, and that's his weakest place because he doesn't have plus frame lows, except for the full crouch one. And he doesn't have like big knockdown lows unless you're standing point blank with them. So finding a comeback is almost dependent on a whiff punish or a counter hit or a rage drive hitting. Now this combo was, again, a bit suboptimal. He could have probably carried to the next wall over and gotten like a last hit situation. This is insane to me. First of all, great block. Second of all, Pinya at last hit is forward dashing against the sword. Not there. Here. 1, 2. 2 forward dashes into the low. That could be a 2-2. That could be a forward 1+2. This could get low parried. In very, very high confidence from the Raven player. Goes for the low. Knee blocks it. Does the wrong punish and dies. That's tough. So Pinya making nice adjustments here. Again, this down back 2 mid is a great tool if Noctis's up forward 1 is offline. And because, by offline I mean you've shut it down with your choices. And because he's chosen Snake Dash so many times, he's effectively turned off the up forward 1. But looks like Knee is still poking back, right? So if Raven's going to play down back 2, I'll play back 2. I'll play down 3. Back 2 again. Down forward 1, down 2. Mixing up these tracking options. Down forward 1 tracks one way, down 2 tracks the other way. So it's hard to find a good consistent step against Knee's Noctis. Usually, my Noctis gets predicted a lot. Like my 2-2s get obvious, my down forward 1s get obvious, people walk me and kill me. Knee is mixing up the mids he's choosing to track multiple ways. Wow. Pinya catches him with a snake dash down forward 4. Single snake dash down forward 4. Could have been a hell sweep. Very, very nasty opportunity here. And look at how much damage. Look at how much damage Master Raven gets. Nasty, nasty mix-up. Nice, he blocks it this time. I would expect a low parry, but, you know, in the clutch, sometimes it's hard to find those low parries. Playing a lot of down back 1, but again, if there's no whiff punish, it's going to be hard. No whiff punish, no counter hit. Look at this situation. This was funny. This low hits Knee, okay? And then he jabs, and Pinya sidesteps right. And this is a weird quirk about Tekken here, right? Knee gets hit, okay? But look at Noctis's feet. He's still kind of off axis. So he does this down back 1. And Raven forward dashes and actually swings, but it misses completely. It's like Noctis never fully realigned. And he dies for it. It doesn't help that this move doesn't track that way either. But little quirks, sometimes alignment can be really tricky. Knee playing the mid pokes again, nice punish. Again, that's a 3-hit string. So at any point, if Raven stops, they're like -15. So you can always launch them, but it's hard to know when they're going to stop. Knee calling out the single kick this time. Nice, gets a clean wall splat this time. Demo Man flips over, not the best damage. On that axis here on the wall, you can actually get some resplat combos that Momodog from Germany is really famous for doing. But again, if you're not a character specialist, you're less likely to have those combo options unlocked. But regardless, 50% HP. Hell Sweep hits again. Knee's only blocked 1, and I think Pinya is getting a little more confident in it. Running in and jabbing. Jabbing, a good way to get around that forward 1+2 and to get around that up forward 1. Knee does the low spear. You would not expect this at all. This is so uncharacteristic to do a launch punishable low. But it paid off. I'll take notes. I'll do the low too, I swear. Usually I avoid it. I'm just so afraid of getting launched. So that's really cool to see Knee do it. Poking with the big mids. Moving around. Standing 3? That was definitely a down 3. He definitely tried to do a down 3 here. But all this moving around, you don't want Raven to hell sweep you. So it makes sense that he's constantly changing his spacing and not making it obvious where he's going to be, putting out these hitboxes so the snake dash is contested. What's fascinating is he did the standing 3 and then decided to attack again right after on trade. I don't know the frames on that move, so I guarantee Knee does not know the frames on Noctis' standing 3. And if he does, my fault. I apologize. But either way, cool instinct to decide to swing anyways. Final round here. Knee playing jab down 3. And then Raven, wow, great usage of the down back 2 to poke and just harass. Now he's in back turn. He backs up and Knee does a while standing 4 that gets whiff punished. And this is going to be a colossal amount of damage. Pinya, an expert at the wall carry, 50% life left. Tries the mid, down back 2, clipping him so often. 1-2-2. Look at this confidence Knee has to just run up and hit a button. This is the control that forward 1+2 has granted, okay? If against a normal character, especially the character with, say, like an electric, Pinya can just duck and just try the while standing 2, but he's respecting the forward 1+2 and respects the back 2. Notice that Knee eats this down 4 and doesn't mash this time. Last time, that got him killed, so Knee just backdashes. Maven plays the 1-2, down 3. Oh, nice block. Low parried out of the 3. Wow. And then he kills him. And unfortunately, that is the end of the VOD. So I translated the captions here. Knee has to go. But he really wants to play. He doesn't want to leave it at 2-1. He says that's not right. So he says, I'll leave it up to chance and, like, you know, wiggles the stick or holds it down or something. But then he ends up on return to main menu. So he has to go. Unfortunately, we don't get a continuation to that set. But absolutely incredible play to watch. He keeps it so simple. Counter hit? No. Counter hit? No. I'll poke you because you're respecting me. It's so beautifully simple. If you see Knee playing your character, study up. I've learned so much. I'm ready to level up. I hope you guys are too. If you enjoy this kind of content, please leave a like. Please leave a comment if you have any questions or if I missed something. I'm going to put the link to his channel here. This is the full version Knee channel. So it's like full VODs, and you can actually go to his channel here. And if you click this search bar, you can search your character. Like if you search like Armor King or something, right? He has all of these matches. Sorry, that was super zoomed out, but you know what I mean. This channel here, I'll link it in the description. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.